Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Historian Radio's Echoes of the News, and I am Muhammad Hussain Qazi, and these are today's headlines from the past. On this day, the 27th of November 1582, on or about this day, that is to say, William Shakespeare, aged 18, married Anne Hathaway, not to be confused with Hollywood actress Anne Hathaway. And they had a daughter in 1583 and a twin boy and a girl in 1585. The boy unfortunately died at the age of 11. Nevertheless, the tying of Shakespeare's nuptials took place on this day, the 27th of November 1582, or at least that is rumored. Continuing on this date, in 1942, as German troops arrived in Toulon, the French fleet was scuttled in the Toulon harbor to prevent the warships from falling into enemy hands. Truly an interesting and intriguing move that was done by the French Navy in its final moments as an independent navy. And on that note, in 1944, between 3,500 and 4,000 tons of high explosives went off in a cavern beneath Staffordshire, killing 68 people and wiping out an entire farm. The explosion was heard over 100 miles away in London and recorded as an earthquake in Geneva. And continuing on this date, in 1967, President Charles de Gaulle said no to British entry into the common market. This would be a moment of great tension between Anglo-French relations, particularly so in the field of economy and trade. And on that note, we conclude today's headlines of the day. And now we move on to the next segment of our show, where we recount the famous births and deaths of famous figures from the 19th and 20th centuries and sometimes earlier. Born on this day in 1894 was Konosuke Matsuhita, Japanese industrialist who founded the Matsuhita Electrical Industrial Company in 1918, which later made products under the Panasonic name, was born on this day. We have Mr. Matsuhita to thank for the modern landline amongst other devices manufactured by Panasonic in the past and today. And alongside him in 1921, Alexander Dubček, former first secretary of the Czechoslovakian Communist Party who introduced short-lived reforms during the Prague Spring, was born on this day. He remained to be one of the most iconic faces of communist rule in communist Czechoslovakia. And unfortunately, on this day, in 1953, Eugene O'Neill, the Nobel Prize winning US playwright, would pass away on this day. He is best remembered for his works The Iceman Cometh, written in 1939, and Long Day's Journey into Night, that was published after his death. And prior to him in 1895, on the subject of losses in literature, Alexandre Dumas, French playwright and author of La Dame aux Camélias in 1848, and of course the Three Musketeers, would pass away on this day, the 27th of November in 1895. And on that unfortunate note, we conclude today's headlines of the day. You are watching and listening to Historian Radio's Echoes of the News, and I am Muhammad Hussain Qazi. And these are today's headlines as history first heard them. Good night.